What's up, Cutternation? Johnson Tez here. Pretty excited. I got Diamyn Hall, the youngest mental game coach available right now. Pretty excited. First of all, check out my website for my awesome gear. This is my Badger on-field, super light, super comfortable undershirt with the custom logo. Don't forget, I got tri-blend t-shirts, probably my favorite. I got hats coming out soon, some snapbacks. Don't worry about check out your J-bands if you're not doing your J-bands, or check out my YouTube channel for all the workouts. Also got flush bands and weighted balls. So, Diamyn, what's up, my friend? How are you?
How you doing, man? I'm doing good.
Awesome, dude. So you and I kind of like ran into each other on Twitter, like the internet does, and that's what I love about the internet. So just introduce yourself, tell everybody where you're from, where you're at right now, and how they can get a hold of you.
From Dayton, Ohio. Just got done with my baseball career. Now I'm doing the mental skills training here at Rice State University for the baseball team, and I'm got a few projects on the way. Got a website up. Got the logo built, and I'm just trying to I'm trying to impact as many lives as I possibly can through the mental part of the game, because I feel like it's an important aspect, not only for guys' on-field performance, but their lives as well.
That's awesome, man. I'm a big mental game fan myself, so we definitely got to work on you rocking your own gear. I mean, Wright State, more power to them, but you probably look better with a logo, with a shirt, a polo, and everything,
Yeah, I hear you, man. Right now I'm trying to keep Wright State as the #1 priority, and our coaching staff, Coach Merce, he's letting me kind of do my own thing on the side a little bit, and giving me the freedom to do that. So I'm just making sure I'm keeping us as the first priority, myself second right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you got to take care of #1 and do everything with that. So, you being a mental skills coach, what is your primary focus on when you're trying to, talk to an athlete or, anybody?
The primary focus, man, it's usually individualized. So I can't give you like a certain answer, because it depends on the guy I'm working with. It depends on the team. It depends on the coaching staff. It depends on the athletic department that I'm working with. So it's really, I try to individualize everything as much as possible as far as the mental game goes, because there's no clear-cut way to do anything. There's no one way to do anything. Like you've heard plenty of times, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So I try to really individualize and customize things for the guy in particular that I'm working with.
That's awesome. Full customization on the mental coaching. It sounds like you really got a nice niche there. I'm constantly getting in DMs, and I'm sure you are too, from people that try to about too much or compare themselves to other people when they don't really understand. I did a lesson today with a kid, and he was basically told, asked me the #1 question recently that I'm getting, and I don't understand it, because I don't think I ever thought about things that way, but maybe it's more the internet these days. But the question basically was, well, hey, I throw 15. How hard do you think I should throw? I'm sorry, I'm 15 years old. How hard do you think I should be throwing at 15? And I'm like, it depends, it depends on your strength, your skill level, and everything from there.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of guys are, with social media, like you said, people are trying to compare themselves to other people, and that's not what you should do, mentally or physically, because you're you, and everybody's different. Everybody's unique in their own way. So it's a matter of being able to grow and figure out yourself, figure out your body, figure out your physical abilities, figure out your mental abilities, figure out your potential, where you can get, instead of comparing themselves to everybody else around them or people they see on TV.
Yeah, I totally hear you. That's great. So you had some videos on Twitter, and I love the way you started. So, you're one of your ones. You sent me a screenshot. We just had a conversation. If you guys don't know, Diamyn and I had a conversation. He reached out to me and just, hey, can I ask you some questions? And I was like, sure, man. I mean, for the people that know me, I'm a little bit bigger on the Instagram world than Twitter. Obviously, you're bigger on the Twitter than the Instagram. But I mean, if I got a minute, I'll give you, as much time as I can, depending on, go from there. So, tell everybody, I guess I would be like a tagline. Like, tell everybody what that tagline is and what it means.
A minute of your time, so I can provide you a minute for your mind. So invest in 1 minute. of your time. And I mean, with social media being like it is, if I got an 11-minute video up, nobody's gonna watch that. Nobody's gonna watch that whole video. So just invest in 1 minute for yourself and for your own growth, and being able to be open and learn something for that 1 minute. So
Okay.
a minute of your time for a minute for your mind.
That's nice. I like that. I like that. Can you give me an example of, one of your philosophies, or even an example of you talking with the kids, so everybody can really understand, what you're trying to preach when you're coming with your strength and your positioning?
So I can give you an example of, when I work with the younger age groups, the kindergarten up to, let's say 12. I'm really focusing on, getting these guys to understand what it means to have a growth mindset, what it means to have a positive mindset versus a fixed mindset. So a growth mindset is something that the best athletes have. They're always looking for ways to get better. They perceive obstacles as opportunities. They perceive challenges as opportunities. So they don't look at it like a wall, like, oh man, I can't get over this hump. Whenever you're telling yourself you can't, or you don't believe you can, that's kind of having a fixed mindset, and that's not what we want. So it's more so about having a positive mindset and a growth mindset, being able to, at the end of the day, and understand that it's a part of, it goes into the part of the journey on the road to success.
That's solid. That's solid. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing. So when you just got done playing, you were a position player, correct?
Yep, outfielder.
Okay. Outfielder? Okay. So what do you feel like drove you to the mental side of the game more?
Well, I started playing baseball my junior year in high school, actually. So before that, I was a football player, and I was kind of at the peak of my career. Ended up having a career-ending injury. I found out I had congenital stenosis, which is narrowing of fluid in your spine. So the scenario was that kind of ended my career was I went head on with somebody diving for a loose fumble. And, I was temporarily paralyzed from my neck down, and from there the doctors didn't clear me to play football anymore. They didn't clear me to play basketball. So I had to be great at something. I wanted to use my my physical abilities to the to the best of their abilities. At the end of the day, I wanted to use my talent in a way to where I can affect and inspire people through sports. So I started playing baseball, and at the beginning, I struggled. I was definitely in the had to hit that learning curve as far as transitioning that football mentality to the baseball mentality. Understanding how to harness that energy after I fail, and being able to direct that energy into my game in a positive way. And I was always a learner. I'm still a learner. I'm always looking for new ways to grow. And so what I did was, I was looking for an edge, and I ended up, it ended up being the mental part of the game. And I mean, you and me both know, we've heard plenty of times that, this game is 90% mental, 10% physical. So I don't think that's a quote for no reason. And it was like it was kind of I kind of got lucky, and I was blessed at the same time because, I came across it, and I started studying it. I started researching. I started applying it to my game while I was playing. Ended up reaching out to my mentor, Dr. Marr. He wrote a few books, and he's a sports psychologist for the Cleveland Indians. And being able to kind of have him there since 2015, being able to guide me in different directions as far as just playing for myself. And now, being able to be in the John F. Kennedy's sports psychology program, he's kind of guided me in that direction too. And he's done a whole lot for me. And I think that having him to go to, having him to ask questions when there is something that I'm not sure about has been huge for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, when I had a big injury myself, almost career ending, I started studying like the greats of people, and one thing I noticed, and even with yourself, is there's always a point of almost no return. You look at the obvious one, for us, right? Michael Jordan, he gets cuts on the basketball team, and that inspires him to go from there. You got LeBron, the way he was brought up. Tiger, same thing. You look at all these guys who are the greatest athletes, they always run into some form of adversity that's out of their control. And I always found that super interesting. And I found that almost inspiring myself after, when I broke my elbow in college. So that's awesome. People around you are really affecting you. You said, you were blessed. I'm sorry about that spinal injury. That's nuts. Like, that's one of the reasons, like, me even looking back, I came up playing football a little bit. I was a punt, pass, and kick guy kind of thing. And then I was fortunate enough to, like, learn the hard way. Dad said he didn't want me to play football. I was the punter for a little bit, trying to be the backup quarterback. The next thing we're running the wing tee option. I'm getting lit up in practice. And I'm going, like, this is not for me. Like, I wanted to throw the ball, and I'm reading the end, pitching the ball, and getting destroyed. I'm like, I thought you couldn't hit the quarterback. I'm like, nah, dude, you're a running back now when you do that. Like, I'm like, I don't know what game we're playing. This ain't what I signed up for,
Yeah.
So that's cool. So
I think I agree. I definitely agree. Oh, I'm sorry. I definitely agree with what you were saying about, the best athletes. And I kind of done the same thing. I've studied the best athletes. I've studied, even myself, just my competitive nature, wanting to always be the best at whatever it is that I'm doing, no matter what gets in my way, kind of having a rhinoceros mentality, right? If going straight forward, head in, if something gets in my way, that's unlucky for it, right?
No,
and
please elaborate. I've never heard of the rhinoceros. Like, I've heard sharks, lions. Like, come on, bring the rhinoceros. Yeah, bring the rhinos
right here. This is the new content that nobody's really talked about, right? But the rhinoceros mentality is you're gonna have obstacles, right? So it's a matter of how you handle those obstacles. Now, you talk about Bruce Lee. He talks about being water, right? You got a rock in the middle of the river. You watch the water, it goes around it. Well, with the rhinoceros mentality, if that rock is right there, that rock is right here, oh, not stopping, keep it going. Anything that gets in my way, that sucks. But I'm not gonna be I think you look at the greatest athletes, of all time too. I mean, even if you think about Peyton Manning, you think about Tom Brady, you think about Derek Jeter, right? You think about Michael Jordan, you think about Kobe Bryant, you think about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a really good example. Rhinoceros mentality. He's not stopping for anybody. He's going full speed, head on, not stopping, no matter what gets in his way.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We got to talk about a collab. We got to get that on the T-shirt or something. I don't know. We got to talk some serious stuff. That was awesome. I love it.
Let's do it.
I love like different things that catch or whatever. You're probably gonna see on my Insta story for a while now. I'm like, I'm going strong rhino mode on some people. Like, y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. Okay, so you had some adversity. Some things happen. What's the plan? What's the goal with this mental coaching? I know you want to meet, reach a lot of people. Are you trying to build like, a brand and maybe get your own practice? Are you trying to get to like a head coaching position? What's the end game? What's the big picture?
I'll be honest with you. The big picture for me is to impact millions of lives in a positive way, not only through through sports, but aside from sports as well, because the mental part of the game, the mental aspect of any component in life, right? It applies in sports and in your daily life. So I want to be able to impact people on a numerous scale, on a grander scale, on the grandest scale, through what I'm doing. And I feel like that's my purpose, man. That's really my purpose, is to just impact as many people in a positive way as I can. That's why I was put on this earth.
That's awesome. That's such, I'm always looking for different people to, who help inspire me. And, with some of your stuff, I was like, man, this guy's putting out, first of all, top level swag in the videos. Like, you're so cool, so chill. And I'm just like, first of all, like, all right. And second of all, like, he's just it's just so confident and flowing. You can see it really means something to you. That's what I like. It's very genuine. You know what I mean? And that's what I like too. Like when, you know, you could probably tell too when we had that conversation, like, you know, it was a real recognized real situation. Hey, we're gonna knock this thing out. We're gonna, hey, what do you need, man? I want to help you because I like what you're doing, and I feel like, you know, you can help me with some expertise. I can help you, and that's what we're trying to do. You know.
Exactly. I agree, and I think what you said, like I have a passion for it, man. I have a passion for, you know, I try to make sure that, you know, anything comes out of my mouth, you know, it's it's what I truly believe, and that's where you know, this is my passion, man, and I've studied it over and over again. There's a book called The Outliers, right, and it talks about, you know, people aren't successful until, you know, you put 10,000 hours worth into whatever craft that it is you're doing. And luckily for me, you know, I've kind of, you know, tracked where I am as far as being on that scale. I'm somewhere in that 9,000, you know, 9,500 range as far as my hours go, as far as those hours, those 10,000 hours go. So, you know, I feel like I'm on the cusp, and usually people don't start, you know, building up those hours, racking up those hours until after they've gotten their master's program or after they've done this, after they've done that. Luckily for me, I kind of set myself up to where, you know, I was learning and growing while I was playing. So I was putting in these hours in this field, you know, beforehand, and now, and now I'm here, and I want to keep going. And I think that, you know, me having so much experience, me always wanting to learn, me always reaching out and trying to grow and learning from the best people in the field has been a huge part of my growth, and I want to continue doing that. Being able to, I mean, even guys like you, like being able to reach out to you and learn something from yourself, man. I think that, you know, sometimes people lose sight of, you know, how much you can learn from somebody, you know, and a lot of people are always caught up in themselves and kind of, you know, uh, they're not willing to learn, right? And I'm always willing to learn, no matter who it's from, because you have something that I can add to my repertoire. You know what I mean? You have something that I can add to my, you know, to what I do on a daily basis, and hopefully I have the same thing that you can, you know, something that you can add to your, you know, to your life, to your mental game, to your baseball game, right? And I feel like that's huge, and that's kind of a lost art, man. You know, learning and growing from the people who are around you, being able to connect and, you know, pick this guy's brain, even if it's not something that you do at all, even if he's a skier and you've never skied, you know, like pick his brain. He might be able to, you know, tell you something that can help you with your life or with your game, whatever sport you're playing. And people are always, I know when I played football, I'll give you a perfect example. When I played football, before I started playing baseball, I had kind of that that outside looking in mentality. Oh, baseball's boring, that kind of thing, right? Until I was put in a position to where, all right, you know, now this is the last thing I have. Then I ended up learning to love the game and realizing that this is not only the best game in the world, but like this is a game of life lessons. Now, football and basketball, you can get upset, you can get super mad, right? You can get like high energy, bang your head up against the wall and go do something great. Can't do that with baseball. You got to be calm and relaxed. You gotta understand and learn how to harness that energy and get everything going in the right direction. So one thing I usually talk about is the blue flame mentality, right? What the blue flame mentality is, you know, when you see it, let's talk about a red flame first. When you talk about a red flame, it's usually what you see, like burning down houses, right? It's always out of control, always out of control. Now, when you talk about a blue flame, it's hotter. Look it up on Google if you don't believe me. It's hotter, right? It's more precise. Think about a blowtorch, right? It's more precise. Okay, it's hotter. It's more precise. It's always under control. So being able to have a blue flame mentality in this game is what gets guys to the next level. And I think that understanding that and learning and like I say, growing and being able to apply those things to my game has really been huge for me. And being able to teach, teach the same things to everybody else I'm working with.
I think it's just so amazingly ironic that I'm wearing a blue shirt. You know, like just for exactly what you were just referencing. I was like, as soon as you said that, I was like, I could not have changed into a better shirt after the Giants.
You had a red shirt on before?
No, I didn't have a red shirt. I said I had a black one.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah,
hey, blue is the way to go, man. If you're trying to do something good, man, blue is the way to go.
Yeah,
that blue flame mentality, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you on too much of your time. Obviously, you're on Twitter. Tell everybody how they can find you on Twitter. What you got coming up next? You got any events or anything? You got anything going on from there? And how they can really get a hold of you?
My Twitter is Diamyn Hall, so DIAMYN Hall. It's consistent across all of my social media, so my Snapchat, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, and right now Twitter is kind of the thing that's where I've got the most pull in, so to say, and that's probably the best way to reach out to me. And then under my bio is the link to my website, and I'm kind of in the process of building that right now. But I got a little something up to where people can go in and let me know what they're looking to achieve, and then putting all their information in, and me getting back with them as soon as possible. So I got a place for that, and my website is called diamynperformance.com. So DIAMYN performance.com. And the next project, my next project is the project that I'm indulged in right now. Is what you see me wearing. Wright State University's baseball team. These guys are these guys and the staff that we have is unbelievable. And I want to be able to execute my role and what they're bringing me in to do to help these guys get a championship. And we got an all-star coaching staff, man. We got Coach Merce at the top. We got we got Coach Shogard, with the pitchers. We got Coach Metz with the catchers and the recruiting. And we got Coach Talley with the base stealing, stealbases.com, and it's just a great opportunity. It's one of the I'm really blessed, to have this as my first go around in the coaching world, to be able to work under these guys and learn from them on a daily basis. It's pretty substantial for my growth, I feel like, and I've already been able to learn from them. I'll give you an example. Today, I ran something by Coach Merson, and the best part about it is that they're open, and they're open-minded, and they're willing to listen, and they're willing to teach at the same time. It's like kind of a selfless and egoless staff, and I couldn't be any more blessed to be a part of the staff. So I'm going to make sure I'm doing my role and executing my role to the best of my ability throughout this 2017-2018 season. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, guys, go follow him on Twitter. He said that's probably the best way to go. Instagram, I know we're getting him on there a little bit more. Just Snapchat too. Diamyn, I appreciate it, man. It was a pleasure to meet you. We're definitely do this again. I told you I got another buddy that I really hope. we're going to talk about it afterwards. Don't go anywhere when we get off the live, but I'm going to tell you about him a little bit. He's an awesome dude. And he, like you and I were talking about getting some multiple people on this podcast though, and it's going to be some good stuff. So thanks again, man. Guys, don't forget, go check out my website, grab yourself one of these shirts, help support me. Go check out my YouTube channel, all my workouts for J-bands and any kind of things you're doing on there. Working on a vlog recently, kind of need to edit all that stuff together. Been super busy getting stuff in over here in San Diego. Don't forget to check out your J-bands. You got some there, some flush bands, and your tap weighted balls. So Diamyn, you got any more a minute for your mind to the guys?
Let me see if I can cook up something real fast. So today, just what we talked about. First of all, give me a minute of your time so I can provide you a minute for your mind. Let's talk about growth mindsets, right? Yeah. Let's talk about being able to learn and being able to grow from whoever it is that you come in contact with, because there's nobody that you can't learn something from. So make sure that's the goal for the rest of this week, tomorrow being Monday. let's try to use this week as a learning and growing opportunity. And if you have a good experience with it, take it on throughout the rest of the month, right? But yeah, I appreciate you guys giving me a minute of your time so I can provide you a minute for your minds. Have a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, guys, appreciate it. One more time.
Off the top.
DM either one of us if anybody's got a question about anything. Diamyn will definitely be doing this again, bro.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on. It's been a great experience.
No problem. All right, boys. See y'all later. Take it easy.